All right, everybody. I hope that everybody is having a fantastic day today. Today is another Saturday, another day, guys, for you to start improving and developing your speaking English skills. I'm talking about fluency, vocabulary, grammar range, pronunciation, and coherence, right? And in today's episode, everybody, we're gonna be talking about health. In this week, we were talking about health vocabulary, and just today, we're gonna be developing your answers. We're gonna be working on your answers. We're gonna be working on the strategies that you have for you to answer the questions that I have prepared for you. So, guys, and we are about to start, and we're starting right now. All right, everybody. So this is Teacher Nestor. I'm your host. Thank you very much for tuning NICALINGUE radio podcast. Right. The main idea is that you can have a place where you can practice your spoken skills. And just for the records, everybody, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, you can go ahead and start doing it right now, so you won't miss anything related to how to improve your speaking skills. And additionally to that, about a space, right? Or a place where you can improve your speaking strategies. So before I go any further, remember that this episode is brought to you thanks to the sponsorship of iSpeak. In iSpeak, we have private lessons. We have more than 120 lessons where the idea is to practice your fluency, coherence, vocabulary. Obviously, through the lessons, I teach you strategy, I teach you vocabulary, I teach you pronunciation, the ones in case that if you need to improve and master these skills, the only thing you need to do is to have that premium or those private lessons, right? And the good part about that is that we have the theory, right? We have what we're going to be covering in the lessons, and at the same time, you will have a place where you're going to be practicing your spoken English. In today's article, everybody, we are going to be talking about why being a perfectionist is bad for your health, right? Why being a perfectionist is bad for your health. And quite honest with you guys, let me see something over here. I don't know what's this. All right, sorry about that. So that's the main idea, right? The main idea is that we're gonna be discussing why being a perfectionist is bad for your health. And we're gonna go through a reading, and after that we're gonna go through a couple of questions. And let's move it on, guys. Let's jump right in our today's program, right? So we have our first participant. Hello, Isaac. How are you today? Are you there? Can you hear me? Hello, Isaac. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. I hear
That
you loud
sounds.
and clear.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Isaac, for actually showing up today. And tell me, how was your week?
My week was good. I was finishing my university quarter, and thanks to God, everything is terrific.
All right, that sounds good. So you're about to finish then. You're about to finish your university. And how do you feel about this last semester? Do you think you're gonna make it?
Um, this quarter, this semester was very interesting because, as you know, I didn't have the opportunity to study online, and I studied all this semester online. And it was very interesting because, so as you know, the COVID-19 situation, I need to jump in some video friends, and that was so interesting.
All right, that sounds great. Sounds good. And I'm glad that you're about to finish your studies, which is good. This is great,
Thank you,
right?
man.
So basically, you're getting yourself ready for next year, right?
Yes,
2021. 2021, I
and
think it's
we are
gonna.
ready.
I think 2021 is going to bring a lot of surprises and a lot of good opportunities for students, teachers, and all people out there who are professionals in their industrial field to make things better, right? So, Isaac, the main question of today's episode is why being a perfectionist is bad for your health. And the first question I have for you is the following. Do you consider yourself a perfectionist person?
Mm, I consider myself a perfectionist person because when I okay, let me start again, please. I consider myself a perfectionist person because when I made some assignment from my university, um, I try to give my best. For example, the last year, I made a biography with a group of friends, um, and I try
I'm sorry.
to
I'm sorry
give my
for
best and give
interrupting.
the
I'm sorry for
efforts.
interrupting. Isaac, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I am. You feel. I feel like you are breaking up, right? So I would appreciate that maybe you can either change your uh, earphones, right, or your headphones, depending on what you are, because
Yes.
I think you are breaking up, and I'm not sure if it's your internet connection. But anyway, so you were saying something about your thesis. You were saying about something about your last year you were working on a project with your peers, with your classmates. So what was the project about?
That prayer was about a CRISPR. CRISPR is about methodological and chemical um, situation with the um, chemic with the chemistry, and that is so interesting. That was so interesting. But as always, I try to give my best. For example, I remember that at the end of this thesis, I was so stressful because we didn't have or we had a lot of mistakes. I was so angry because because my classmate didn't help me.
Okay.
But
Uh huh.
thanks to God, everything was good
All
at
right,
the end.
all right. That sounds good, man. That sounds good. That everything at the end turns the way that you wanted to have it, right? Which is great. And alrighty, so we have that the topic, right? Why being a perfectionist is really bad. Uh, in my personal opinion, I have to say I have been through in different kind of as scenario. Has been sometimes perfectionist and sometimes I'm not. And the truth is that the reason why I decided not to be a professional anymore is because it stresses you a lot, right? The stress that actually have in you, it's so huge that you can even have some kind of disease afterwards. And I was reading an article where it says that when you are stressed, you have a hormone. I don't remember the name right now, and that hormone that is the one that triggers your the illness that you can afterwards you can develop in within your body. So it's quite interesting how situations in life make you stressed, but at the same time, it's just a conception of mind how you can actually like face the situation, face the problem. For example, sometimes we're talking about you feel stress for something that other people think that is just flawless. It's something that it doesn't make any sense to them, but to you, it's everything. So, being the fact that you can develop different, really bad situations, so I decided not to be in myself, not a perfectionist at the level I was in the past. Alrighty, so now you know that we have a couple of questions that I would like you to ask before we jump in our reading section. And in your personal opinion, Isaac, what can we do to improve our general health?
In, in my personal opinion, what we can do to improve our health is going to the gym and eating better. Um, for example, what is happening in Nicaragua. Currently, we have a lot of uh, fast food restaurant. We don't have we don't have, or I don't know, a, a healthy restaurant. Um, what what's happened when you go to a mall, you only you are you only want to eat a hamburger. That happened to me in some occasion. I only want to eat a hamburger or hot dog, and that is so bad for our health. So what we can do is eating a salad, or doing exercise at home. So ultimately, if you don't have money to pay a gym, you can do exercise at home.
I see. So you think then that just by one of the ways that improving your health is just by going to a gym and having better meals, like salad. But um, what about the following question? The following question says, "What do you think are the biggest causes of poor health these days?"
I think one of the biggest causes of our poor health these days, I fully believe that is that we don't eat better, because that that happened to me sometimes. I like to eat hamburger, and the salad and the vegetable are very expensive. So the people, the Nicaraguan people, wants to eat a hamburger that is not as expensive as a salad. So I think that is one of our poor, or that is the biggest problem of our poor health.
Alrighty. And another question that I have for you is, do you think governments should help its citizens live healthier lives?
Um, I think the government is not doing anything for its citizens, because so if they will be worried for their citizens, they will be doing some campaigns about about the vegetables, or eating better, or doing exercise for our health. So what is currently, uh, the weather in Nicaragua is hot. If you are a fat person, you maybe you're going to have a break heart or heart attack for the fact that you eat. So I think the government needs to improve in that part. And also one of the biggest problem is the advertisement. In
Mm-hmm.
some channels, I didn't see advertisement. For example, eat a salad that is healthier than a
Mm-hmm.
hamburger because
Mm-hmm.
the 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 restaurant paid for that advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a problem, man.
Okay. So, alrighty. So you're saying that the government is actually not improving at all, right? When it comes to educating their citizens to eat something healthy, right? And what would you say is the key to living a long, or what is the key, right? Or what would you say is the key to living a long and happy life?
I think to live a long and happy life is to enjoy the life and try to have a healthy life. Um, that is the key, and also try to look for to God and pray to God. That is the key.
Okay. And alrighty, all right, that sounds good. That sounds good. So we have, who else do we have over here? Do we have Reef? Reef, if you can hear me, I would appreciate that you can jump in our today's talk. We're talking about health, right? And if you would like to, practice your spoken English skill, that will be just terrific, right? Amazing. So let's go ahead and see. Now, I do have more questions for you, Isaac, right? And the following question is, in your opinion, how important is traditional food in a country's culture?
Traditional food is a part of a country. For
Mm-hmm.
example, we have in Nicaragua the gallo pinto. The
Mm-hmm.
gallo pinto is one of the biggest traditional foods, and also the bigoron. I love the bigoron, and I think if you are a Nicaraguan person,
Mm-hmm.
you love the gallo pinto.
Now, how often do you eat gallo pinto, Isaac?
I eat gallo pinto maybe uh, in 3 occasions per week. I
Three
love the gallo
times per
pinto.
week. And do you think it is that that meal is healthy?
It's not healthy,
Mm-hmm.
but if you don't have money and you only have that food for eating, so you need to eat that because
Now,
if you are
do you
hungry,
think
you need to.
that having gallo pinto 3 times a day or 3 times a week is not expensive? Do you think it's cheap?
Um, it's cheap because if you buy, for example, 10 pound of rice and 10 pound of meal, that is going to be very easier than eating vegetable or buying vegetable because the vegetable are very expensive.
Do you think so? Why do you think vegetables are expensive?
The last week
Mm-hmm.
I went to the supermarket with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
We had a price in a paper, and when we went to the supermarket, the price was other. was more
So,
expensive.
okay, all right. I think I understand you. All right, good. And do you think diet is important for overall health? Take your time.
What was the question, man?
The, the
I didn't
question
hear
is,
you.
do you think diet is important for overall health?
Um, if you have the opportunity to take a diet, yes, it's important to your health. For example, if you go to a nutritionist, if you have the opportunity to pay a nutritionist, he says the diet that you need to take, that it will be great, man. And if I have that opportunity, I would take it. But to pay a nutritionist is expensive. But I think that not to eat as much as you can is is healthy for your health.
Okay. Um, Alrighty. I think I get your point. But when it comes to diet, do you prefer to pay for somebody who actually tells you what to eat and what not to eat? Being the fact that you are not ill or sick, right? You are 100% okay. You don't have any kind of condition. So for what let's go ahead and define what diet is. What do you think it's diet? You know, I think that we have good diet and bad diet, right? Diet, it's everything that we eat. Obviously, some people eat healthier than others, meaning that diet, even though that you're having a hamburger, that's your diet. This is what you ingest. This is what you eat, right? Your diet is based on fatty things, salty things, right? Oily things. But there are others that their diet is based on vegetables, right? Square meal, the right amount of food, the right amount of carbohydrates and proteins and fats things. So that's your diet. So I think that you don't need to pay like a doctor if I'm talking about the fact that you don't have any kind of condition, right? You don't have like a condition where you need to have a strict plan on diet that help you out to drop those pounds that you already have on your body, right? I'm talking about the fact that you are just an average person without any kind of health situation, and I don't think that we need to pay a nutritionist to tell us what to eat. It's just based on the information that we can recover from our school, right? At school we have different kind of teachers, and one of them is our PE teacher, our physical education, our physical teacher. And that teacher tells us, besides the routines that we need to start working in his or her class, they can help us out to basically to tell us, what are the things that we can eat to either strengthen our muscles or to lose some weight, right? And you save some buckets or some money, and you don't pay for the nutritionist. This is what I think, right? Alrighty,
And what you
so
said,
come
what
again.
interesting what you said, because you said that eating a hamburger is a diet. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so we have a vegetarian hamburger also. I think that you want to give that message. I think.
Yeah, I mean, diet, it doesn't really mean that you are on a plan. Your diet is your food. Your diet is what you ingest. The diet is what you eat. If you eat rice and beans, that's your diet. If you eat hamburgers, that's your diet. If you eat soda, french fries, or any other shitty product, that's your diet, right? On the other hand, if you also eat vegetables, you are vegetarian, or a person that cannot stand products from dairy, that's your diet. This is what you have chosen to eat, and not a problem. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you don't have any kind of medical condition, overweighted, or something that anything you eat make yourself or put yourself at risk of having another condition, yes, I think that you need to look for a nutritionist. But in the meantime, the only thing that you need to do if you are 100% healthy, right, it's just to educate yourself very well through your physical educator, right? That could be either if you go to the gym, or if you are in high school, or if you have the opportunity to talk to a person that is fitness. Though they will tell you, they will give you a hint or some ideas on how to have a square meal, a balanced meal, where you can have carbohydrate, proteins, and the right amount of fat. Because in the end, this is what we need. This is what our body needs, right? And that's it. This is what I think. Alrighty, so we move it on to our next question, and our next question says, "How often do you think people should eat fast food?" Quite interesting, isn't it? How often do you think people should eat fast food? What do you think about that?
Um, I think is depend what the people think. For example, in my personal opinion, I strongly think that when you, for example, in some near of near near of this place where I live, we have a restaurant, a fast food restaurant. Um,
Okay, yeah,
when I
I follow
have
you.
when I have money, when I
Okay.
have money, so
When
I
you have money,
go
you don't
buy
eat rice and
a
beans.
hamburger. Yes,
Okay.
I don't have money, I don't eat. So if you have the opportunity to eat every day, fast food, you eat, but you know that is dangerous for your health.
Yes, it is, right? It is really dangerous for your health afterwards. Um, Alrighty, and I think that there are times where you can go ahead and treat yourself, right? There are times where, our body, as just stated earlier, our body does need some fatty things, some fatty products, right? So having a hamburger, perhaps one or one hamburger every other week, or one hamburger a day, not a day, a month, that will be just perfectly fine. All right, Isaac, I do have the following question, and the following question is, what's your favorite home cooked meal?
The gallo pinto, man. The gallo pinto is my favorite food because my mom cooked this meal with all the love the world. So I think this is a special food. So for that reason, I think. is my
Okay,
favorite food.
so if I invite you over and I invite you to eat some gallo pinto, you will accept my food, or you would prefer to eat
For
something else?
I, I I don't know, man. That is a strategic question, but I loved it. The
What would
gallo
you
pinto.
prefer? If I tell you, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and treat you tonight. What would you prefer? Would you prefer gallo pinto, or would you prefer to take you to a fancy hamburger place?
I think it's depend of the occasion.
That's gonna be depending on the occasion. Okay, sounds good. We
Yes.
got Mabu. Mabu, are you there? Can you hear me? If you are just, tuning in, Mabu, you know what you need to do. You just need to give us a call. In today's episode, we're talking about health, and the main question of today's event is: would you describe yourself as a perfectionist? Why and why not? So, Mammon is calling in. All right. Hello, Mammon. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing just good. What about yourself? How do you feel today?
Oh, I'm quite good today, but I have got an injury because I had a cricket match today. That's why I got an injury that time.
So you were playing cricket today, huh?
Yeah, yeah. With some of my colleagues, I played cricket in the afternoon, and I have I doing ball and batting. Actually, I was a all rounder, and I have to. That's why I have somehow injured myself, and I can't
Okay.
walk properly right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to hear about that. What are you gonna do about that injury?
Yeah, and I applied some medicines
Okay.
in my injured area and feeling better right now.
All right. That sounds good then. And I never
Yeah.
I never played cricket in my life. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
uh,
I'm not quite sure, but we do have baseball. But maybe
oh, baseball.
you can educate me on this. Maybe you can educate me on this.
Okay. Yeah.
Baseball. In baseball in America, we have like four bases. We have the home base, and we have a batter and a pitcher. The pitcher throws the ball, and you have a wooden bat, and you hit the ball, trying making whatever possible to hit that ball out of the stadium, right? Out of the out of the stadium. So,
Yeah.
and then you go to first base, second base, third base, and the way that you actually win is by having more scores as soon as you touch the home base. So my question is, how is cricket played?
It has some similarities with the baseball. You have already said, like a person who is going to ball to the person who is going to bat, and I have to trigger the ball or hit the ball as much as can possible. And if hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, yes. Remember that I just mute myself because of the background noise, but I'm listening to you.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, no problem. I am continuing. Then
Yes, please.
I have to hit the ball as much as as much as can possible. And if the ball go over the boundary, it will counted as six. And if the ball go uh, just straight to the ground but cross the boundary, it will count it as four. And you can also take some singles and some 2 runs or 3 runs, like running between the wicket, like from this side to another side. like from the striker side to the non-striker side. You can just run, but the fielder will meantime take the ball, and if he or she uh, somehow hit the stump before you reaching the straight line, you will be counted as out. Does it make any sense to
And
you?
how do you, yeah, yes. And how do you actually make a score when playing cricket?
Okay. Okay. When you are going to bat, you are the bowler will ball to you, and you will have to hit the ball. Then you will just run. If the ball going to or somewhere in the field, you will just run between the wicket and the bowler. If you just run one time from the striker side to non-striker side, it will count as one run. And if you hit the ball over the boundary, then it will count as six run. And if it go towards the boundary strategically or straightforward, it will count as 4 run. But fielder will try to save those boundaries, and they will try to hit the stumps while you are going to run between the wicket. So is the procedure actually.
Okay, quite interesting. So the truth is that if you send the ball outside the field, outside the boundaries or the limits of this
Yeah,
stadium
yeah,
that you have,
yeah,
so
yeah.
is
There
that
is a,
good or bad? This is something that I didn't understand.
well, in baseball, I also say I see some baseball cricket in the TV shows, and I think it has some similarities with the cricket as well, because in baseball someone has to ball to the batsman, and batsman need to hit the ball as much as he can,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
some fielder and fielders trying to catch the balls, and if he gets the
yes,
ball,
yeah,
you will
it's
count
out.
as out.
That's right. Good. But you said something also that if you send the ball out of the limits,
Boundary.
right? So you
Yeah,
also mentioned
out of.
that is that good or bad?
Yes, it good,
All
because
right, it's
it
good.
will
I
count
just
as it will count as 6 runs, and it is the maximum run you can achieve from a ball.
okay. All right, that sounds good. All right, so you
Yeah.
counted if it's out, you counted like 6 rounds. Okay, interesting because here, if you take it out of the stadium, it only counts as a one score. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, here, the reward system is very, very hard, right? It's not like your reward
Yeah.
system of taking the ball outside of the stadium.
Yeah,
Alrighty,
yeah, yeah, right.
that's great. So, Mahmoud, we're talking about health, right? We're talking about in today's episode, and
Health.
health. Yeah, we're talking about health. And the first question that I have for you is the following: do you consider yourself a perfectionist person?
Okay. Do I prefer myself as a perfectionist person, right?
Yes, yes, that's the question. Yes.
Well, in some extent, I prefer myself, or I presume myself as a perfectionist, because I always try to maintain a diet, and also I would like to do some physical works to keep my body healthy and new and diet, so that it just enable me to do my work properly, and I get enough time to do any type of work, uh, to do any type of work, like it could be a hard work. And because whenever I'm not doing my physical work, or I do not maintain my proper diet. I just stuck with my work, and I couldn't work more than 2 or 3 hours. But if I maintain the diet, proper diet, and proper physical exercise regularly, I can easily do any types of work more than 8 or 9 hours. So that is the difference, and that's why I always try to maintain those health rules and try to avoid some junk foods and fast foods as well. And so that I think I am in some extents I am a perfectionist in case of health.
In what way do you consider yourself perfectionist in terms of health?
Okay. Okay. In what way I consider myself perfectionist in terms of
Yes.
health? It is your questions. I have already said that I always try to avoid some junk foods and street foods, as well as fast foods, because these foods are totally unhygienic, and it will create some problems in our digestion system, and it is not actually nutrition. There is no nutrition in those foods. That's why I always try to avoid those foods, and try to do some physical works, like at least walking 1 hour in every morning, and do some cycling in the afternoon, or at the evening while I'm reaching home from office. Then I just want to go out for a 1 hour or 30 minutes cycling, and thus I always try to keep myself fit, and in such way I can consider myself as a perfectionist in terms of health.
Okay. Or sometimes you play cricket, right?
Yeah. Also, I sometimes love
All
to
right.
play cricket. Not only cricket, I also love to play football, and some others play that are available in our country as well.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Now, talking about countries, um, let's see. Do you think the government, right, where from your country, should help its citizens to live healthier lives?
Okay. Could you please repeat again so that it will make sense to me clearly?
Do you think governments should help its citizens live
Mhm.
healthier lives?
In terms of our country, right?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, we are living in a third world country. Bangladesh is an overpopulated country. So, it's not possible for the government to give some opportunities or give some benefits to all of its population, because there are some limitation that is available in our country. But although our government is trying to give some healthy conscience, like government is trying to give some healthy nutritious food to the poorer people, or the people who are living under people the people who are living under poverty. Government try to give them some nutritious food, and government is trying to do some seminars how to keep health well. And also there are some healthcare and healthcare available in our most of the big cities, so that people can easily check up their health freely. Or actually you no need to pay any money to check your health, and you can also take some free medicines if you need, if needed. And I think thus my government is trying to provide some healthy benefits to its population in our country.
Which sounds great, I think, right? I mean, we're talking about a government that actually cares about its citizens. It's good, I
Yeah.
think, right? Isaac, what were
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
saying? What were you saying in this case? Can you please repeat your answer? What do you think governments should help its citizens to live healthier lives?
Okay, I think the Nicaraguan government is not helping to their citizens in in their in the healthy life because you know um, the government needs to make some campaigns like eat vegetables or it's healthier than than last years because currently in Nicaragua the weather is hot. There are a lot of people with overweight. Um, Maybe they can or they could be suffer uh, a heart attack, and that is dangerous for their health. So and also the social channel, Sonic Harman channels, uh, uh, the advertisement of some channels says that you need to eat fast food as much as you can. So because the restaurants are paying to um, for that advertisement. So I think that we need to improve in that part.
All right, I see. Now, since we're talking about fast food and restaurant, you bring that to our discussion, to our table today. Let me ask you the following then. Uh, Mamon, how often
Yes.
do you think people should eat fast food?
Fast food is really delicious to eat and it always
Yeah, I know what you
tasteful.
mean.
Yeah. So, but it has some disadvantages also because it is very harmful for the body. So I think people may take it maximum once every week, but not more than that because it will just create some healthy problems, and as well as for instance, if I take fast foods more than 2 or 3 times in the week, it just stuck my digestion system, and I also have some vomiting problem while I am taking more fast foods. So in my point of view, I think people should not take fast foods more than one time in every week.
I understand. And now, when it comes to your country's diet in Bangladesh, right? What's
Oh,
the
yeah.
typical food that you have in the morning? What's the typical breakfast, lunch, or dinner you normally have? And what is considered
Yeah,
what
I
is
know.
considered in your country? Well, this is another question as well. What is considered in your country fast food?
Okay, in my country, considered fast food as some oily food. For instance, burger and vegetable rolls and chicken roll, pizza. These things are considered as fast food in our country. And
Okay.
your questions was typically what kinds of food we are taking in our
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well,
Yes.
uh, 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 basically, for the breakfast in our country, we people are taking uh, porota and marmalade egg as breakfast, and there is also some other bread available with banana blend in our country, and it is very popular for the fast food. It is very popular as a breakfast in our country with banana blend with butter or bread. it is it is the main things for the breakfast. And when it comes to the lunch, actually, rice is our main food. So we people always love to take rice in our or love to keep rice as our main menu in the lunch. And we love to take some vegetables, fish, and meat as well, with the rice in our lunch. And when it comes to the dinner, we like to take some little food as our dinner. And basically, for myself, I take some bread, apple, and orange, and banana for my dinner. But most of the people are not doing so. They love to take rice and vegetables for their dinner menu as well.
I see. And now the food that you're talking about, for example, the one at lunch, and yeah, the one at lunch, which is basically vegetables and rice.
Rice, meat,
Is that
fish, meat.
expensive or
Uh,
not?
well, uh, well, in terms of rice, Bangladesh is one of the rice manufacturing countries in the world, and we export rice to our neighboring countries like Pakistan, India as well. So it's pretty cheap in our country to buy rice. Actually, you need to buy paddy, and then you can reform it to rice after boiling it into the hot water. Then it will convert into the rice. You will buy raw pd actually. And after boiling it into the hot water, it will come into the rice form. And if I tell you the price of it in US dollar, for a person, you have to pay maximum $1 to $2 for your lunch menu in our country. I mean, for rice, for vegetables, and some fishes.
Okay, so basically the average as a dish will be $1 per person,
Yeah,
right?
one or maximum $2.
Okay, but now this is if you cooked at home or if you go to a restaurant, a decent restaurant.
Well, I have said about your in case of homemade food. But if you want to buy these foods from restaurants or some other cafes, you need to pay averagely 3.5 or $4 maximum.
Okay, I see. And how often do you go to a restaurant?
Restaurant. Actually, I have a fascination from
Okay.
my childhood to go to have some foods from restaurants. And whenever I have time, I get some time, I always like to go to restaurants with my families and with my friends. And basically, and if I say you more specifically, I usually go to 3 or 3 times per week in the restaurants with my maximum time. I go there with my families, and sometimes I go there with my some of my colleagues.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Alrighty. Um,
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to being the fact that we have been talking about food and restaurants and the places that you have been to and the places that you visit, and when it comes to your homemade cook, right?
Food.
Homemade meal.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
What's your favorite one?
Well, in our country, there are some kinds of biryani is available. Biryani means the meat with the rice. You will have to cook this item with at the same time meat, and it could be meat or beef, or it could be chicken as well with the rice. At the same time, you have to cook these things, not separately, and it is called as biryani in our country, and it is one of the most delicious food for me. And not only for me, maximum people in our country like this type of dish.
All right, sounds great then. What was the name again of the food? Biryani.
uh yeah, biryani.
Biryani.
I
Biryani,
will.
which is rice and meat.
Yeah, rice and meat.
Okay.
I just give it text so that you can understand it properly. Did you see this?
Biryani. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Biryani. All right, sounds good. And does it mean
Yeah.
something in English? I mean, if you translate to English, does it mean
uh
something?
uh Actually, I don't know its proper English. That's why I am unable to tell you. But you, I think you know you understand the concept. What is
Yeah, no,
biryani
I mean,
is?
yeah. I'm talking about, if you're talking about the meal, which is basically rice and meat. Yeah, I do understand what does the dish is in the dish, right? Yeah, not a problem with that. But you know that
Yeah, and
from time to time, there are
yeah.
some dishes that people name them as they give them proper names, and sometimes they mean another thing, right? And not what the dish
Yeah.
represents. So that was just the question. Alrighty, so let's move it on. And the other question that I have for you guys is the following. Let me go ahead and see over here. Okay, so let me see. So going, we have been talking about perfectionist or being perfectionist,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
do you think, or let me ask you, is perfectionism, right, becoming
Mhm.
less common among students?
Well, in some extents, perfectionism is becoming less common in today's students, because I saw in the in our countries, most of the students are busy with internet, with social media, and they are doing some other curriculum activities rather than their main focus, which would be their studies. They are not willing to study a lot, or their textbook, or some other books as well. They are always like to do they like to do basically Facebook, internet, Twitter, and they try to engage themselves more than their study in those platform. And as a consequence, they are becoming antisocial nowadays a lot. So in this point of view, I can say that perfectionism is becoming less, or I can see less to them.
And in your country, would you say that parents, right, parents in your country
Yeah.
are pushing
Mhm.
their children more than ever to be successful?
uh, well, but parents are always try to push their child to be successful, but the most of the but problem is that students are basically if I say more specifically, today's adolescents are not willing to conform their parents. They just want to do as their will, and want to do some types of curriculum activities rather than their studies. But parents are pushing a lot but in fact, all the students are not like the same category. Some students are very good, and they always confirm their parents, but parents are trying their best to push the students to focus on their study.
And if you make a comparison between your parents and now, if I'm not mistaken, you are also a father, right? You're a father of one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so were your parents stronger when it comes to um, pushing yourself, pushing you to make things in a different way, in a way that you're gonna be successful in the future? Now, if we make a comparison between your parents and now you as a father of one, how would you evaluate that? Are you are you strict as well with your kids or not?
One thing, my kids is very little, but only 10 months old. But I try to give you the perfect answer. Uh, I was a
Okay.
child of I was a child from 1990, and that time actually parents have a different mindset. They are always trying to their child. They always like that kinds of child who will always confront their parents and will listen to them in every aspects of their life. And my mindset was almost like that, and I always try to obey my parents, but sometimes they push me to listen whatever they are saying. But actually it happened while I was trying to play some cricket or play some football. They basically disliked those things and always push me to study. And
Mm-hmm.
but nevertheless, I have to say that I got much admonishment from my parents, and that admonishment made it happen to be a successful in my current job and in my current career. And I am very grateful to them. And if I compare with my present situation with my
Mm-hmm.
child,
Mm-hmm.
I am quite strictful, but I love my child a lot. But I try to be
What do you mean? Hold
strictful. All
on.
those
Okay, okay. What do you mean that you love your child a lot? So, are you saying that your
uh,
parents didn't love you enough? What are you trying to say?
uh, no, no, no. They all. I said one thing. I'm really grateful to them because they love me a lot,
Yeah.
because they just want to make me a successful man, so
Yeah.
that I will later in my life I will understand why they are just pushing me on that time. And now I realized these things, why they are pushing me, because they loves me a lot, and try to make me a successful man in my career. That is the most important thing.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Alrighty. So, Isaac, are you there? Let's wait for Isaac.
Here,
All right.
I'm
Cool.
still here.
Hey, Isaac. I know for a fact that you are not a father just yet, since you are just 17 years old, which is good.
Yes.
However, you know, are your parents strict? Are the one that you do you have those kind of the kind of parents that are actually pushing you a lot for you to become a successful person? If you
Um,
make a comparison between you and your friends, for example, your peers, or yeah, your classmates, what would you answer, or how would you say about that? Are your parent always pushing you to do things successfully or not?
yes, my fathers are always pushing me to become a successful person. For example, um, currently I'm in online classes, and they are asking me every day, oh, do you do the homework, or do you do the assignment that the teacher gave you, or is on occasion you need to study I need to study English, and they remember me what day I need to study. In some occasion, they they my phone. I don't have my phone because my mom says if you don't do the homework, you I don't give you the phone. So I think that's part of my mother is very restricted.
All right. Okay. So, and I think that you also suffer, right, when you don't have your phone with you. Alrighty. So, let's
Yeah.
see something over here. And now, if we go back just a little bit back in time, Mammut, I
Yeah,
think. If we go
yeah.
back in time, uh, were you frustrated about your grades when you were in school?
Hmm. Could you repeat, please?
Sure, sure. Were you frustrated about your scores, your grades, your assessment, how teacher evaluates your work, right? Were you frustrated
Oh,
by delivering your homework on time when you were in school?
okay. When I was your questions was when I was in school, uh, will my teachers was strictful to evaluate my homework, right?
No, not the teacher. You.
Okay, okay,
Did you get frustrated, right, because of the
okay.
homework, because of the amount of homework that you needed to deliver to your teacher, or not?
Uh, well, in our country's school curriculum, there were lots of homework to do. Basically, I had to do homework regularly, and in our when I was at for instance, when I was at standard 9, there were 10 subject, at the same time I had to uh, read or learn 10 subjects simultaneously. And at that time, I could remember five teachers gave me five separate homework to do within just only one day. And I tried hard for all the night. Actually, I didn't sleep a lot on that particular night. I just slept 1 or 2 hour maximum on that night to prepare my homework. And I took those homework and presented those in my respective teachers. But they when they were evaluating those things, they just scolded me that I didn't get the right point, and the thing I was done was totally wrong. On that time, I was totally frustrated because I thought I do a arduous work over the night, but it all it was all gone to pain. And because my teachers scolded me a lot. So that was a frustrating experience for me. But after that time, I had never experienced those type of admonishment or those type of frustration. I didn't experience in my life, because from that time I had promised myself I would be very strictful and would be very serious in my homework and my study as well. And I really did very hard work after that time to prepare my homework. So it was my experience.
All right, I see. Okay, so you being strict with yourself since that event, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah, yeah.
And Isaac, what do you think? What is your experience, or what's your situation? Remember, the question is, were you often frustrated about your grades when you were in school?
When I went at high school, I
Yeah.
had a frustration with a grade.
Mm-hmm.
Only in one occasion, I remember that. Okay, it's not good that I'm going to say, and I am not proud. But
Okay.
I like to joke about it.
Okay.
I remember that my final punctuation in a semester, mm, the class was chemistry. Um, was 35. 35. Man, my mother was very so angry. I didn't have my phone like uh I don't know, like 1 month. 1 month. Um, but
That's very common.
after
That's
of
a very
that,
common punishment, I think, right? That whenever you
yes,
behave bad, they just take away the cell phone from you. All right. Okay.
yes, but I know the frustration, my mother frustration, because 35 points in all semester, that was bad. So what I did is try like a goal, try to make the point as much as possible. And I remember that I passed that class with 98 the next semester. So and I had that advantage with that experience, because that never happened me again. Yes, that was my the most frustration that I had at high school, because when I was in a private school, I was the best student.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. So you learned something as well from that bad moment, right? Uh,
Yes.
you know, in my personal case, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was frustrated. Yes, I was, especially with some complicated subjects like science, right? I didn't like it, and not even literature. I didn't like literature at all, because I remember teachers used to, give us a lot of homework and a lot of books to read. And my mother loves to read books, so at the end, I just decided, or I ask her, most of the time, I ask her to do those homework, right, for me. And that was very, very interesting, because every single assignment that I had where I needed to read books, I didn't read none of them. Sometimes I regret, I'm gonna be honest, because people sometimes they talk about a specific book that we, or most of us, read when we were in high school, and then I need to go and do a quick research, right, on the internet, and then to have an idea. Sorry about that. And to have an idea, so I can talk about that, right? So yeah, this is not one of the things that I feel very proud of, but it's something that you can learn, right? You learn from it, and the good thing about that is that you can, uh, clean
It
yourself from.
seems you
Yeah.
you were a student from arts faculties or business studies faculties rather than science.
Yes, that's right, and that's the other thing, right? The truth is that as long as we are growing up, we think, oh, you know what? I shouldn't have studied math, or I shouldn't have studied this subject or any other subject related to this because I don't like it. But the truth is that you need to study those subjects in order for you to find actually what you like, right? Otherwise,
Yeah.
if you are not in the situation of tasting something new, you will never know actually if you are gonna be a successful person in that particular subject or not, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes people ask me, do you think that online studies nowadays is much better than offline studies? I would have to say that online studies are much better than offline study. But what is going to happen with those people that they haven't had the opportunity to try offline studies? You know, the next generation, our kids, for example, because of the pandemic situation, my kids are having classes online. And they started like that, right?
Okay.
And they are basically enjoying it, right? They feel safe at home. But something else that I'm actually paying attention, because from one way or another, we have lived, this procedure of keeping yourself at home or staying at home because of the pandemic. But something that I have noticed in my kids is that they feel afraid, and that scares me, being honest. They feel afraid to go outside, and they feel afraid to talk to people, and this scares me just a little bit, because eventually, when all this happen, right? When all this happens, what is going to happen is that everybody's going to go back to their, normal activities. Some of us are going to remain in the positions that we are, which is basically perhaps working from home, or perhaps you can have either opportunity to work also, not with the internet, but in a physical location, which is also great. But something that I'm just noticing that perhaps for me it's good, because right now I'm talking to you, Maman, and you are in Bangladesh. I'm talking
Yeah.
to Isaac. Isaac is in Central America. So that's cool. I think this is a really great opportunity. But my next generation, my kids, even though they have the opportunity to also to speak to people around the world, whenever we
Yeah.
face people face to face, they feel a little bit insecure. They feel a little bit scared, and that's something that
Yeah.
actually called my attention a lot, right? Because this is something that I just stated. We need to give ourselves the opportunity to taste something, and then we'll need to decide if that's something that we are given the opportunity to, it's worth it or not, right? So if people
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
me, do you think online education is better than offline education? I would have to say yes, because of my background. But
Yeah.
if you ask me, do you think your children are having a really good education? Yes, but there's a but. They feel some kind of, yeah, I see them, right? I see that they are like kind of scary whenever they
Yeah.
talk to people, and that's surprising. That's surprising. So I need to work on that. Alrighty, good.
Yeah, and important thing is they are very small kid, right now. That's why they actually find it unfamiliar to them while they are speaking in front of someone, because they are nowadays they are getting used to talk with someone over phone or through internet only. So it's better to have the both type of uh, experience, like over the internet, or like online education and offline education simultaneously. So I
Yes,
think it
yes,
could
yes,
solve the problem.
yes. I'm 100% agree on that. Alrighty,
Nestor,
so yeah, go ahead.
I think that you need that your daughters go outside at least 5 minutes, because that is worrying. That is worrying that your daddies feel afraid to talk with someone.
Yeah, it's true, right? It's a situation that is not normal. It's like you have been in a place for a long time, but whenever you have experience with the outside world, you will feel like frozen. And something that is also interesting is that they see things on TV, or they watch the TV, and then if I ask them, where is this place, like landmark places, right? And they tell me what the places are. But talking to people, whenever it's not in a on a screen, they feel insecure, and that's one of the things that I need to work on. But it's not only take my kids outside, right? It's also they can build the ability to they can, yeah, they can have the ability to build relationship, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so the next question I got is the following. Uh, what? Okay, just give me 1 second. Alrighty. Okay, so, I think that everyone that is listening and watching this episode today, every one of us has been facing failure, right? In one way or another. And also in a different stage of our lives, right? So, Mammon, what advice
Yes.
what advice would you give to someone who has a hard time dealing with failure?
Okay. Who has hard time, right? To
Who
dealing with
has
failure.
Yeah, who has a hard time dealing with failure?
Okay. Though I am not an expertise on this particular area, but I have some opinion. That is, if we practice a lot and things the motivation from the failure, we can ameliorate the situation. And the most important thing is here motivation. And if we analyze the cause why actually I become failure, and what the root cause of these things, I think next time I can use these things, because we all know that failure is the pillar of success. From our childhood we are used to learning this kinds of sentence or these
Yeah.
kinds of things.
Yes.
So in my point of view, if we take take as a positive vibes from those particular failure area or failure times, and we'll try to use that experience into the coming one, I think we can be successful in our future life as well as in our present situation.
All right, thank you, Mammon. And what do you think, Isaac?
Um,
What advice would you give to someone who has a hard time dealing with failure?
Every failure help you always. For example, in my case, I made the final exam of the 16th level at a day 2 times. You know, that was a failure, man, and I feel so frustrated. But that helped me, and in the third time, I passed that exam 99 out of 100. I think that was the grade. So that helped me, and that failure helped me a lot. So when you had a when you have a failure, you need to learn what you did bad and try to not repeat that.
Yeah, I guess you both are right. I like Mammon expressions when he mentioned that failure is just basically the way of the path to success, which is
yeah.
true, right? Look, um, quite honest, I think that the more mistakes we do, the more errors we do, it's the best time for you to actually improve, right? The more failures you make is because you are just hitting that nail, right? You hammer that spot that it will eventually help you out to reach that success that we're looking for, right? And also something that Isaac mentioned, that it's basically through failure, right? Every single time that you fail at something, it means that you are just in the right path, right? So I agree on both statement, guys, right? I definitely agree on that. All right, guys. So I have one more question, right, before we leave, and the question is, do you think social media has a positive or negative effect on society? So you can go. You can go first, Mammon or Isaac.
because I have a lot of noise.
All right, Mammon, are you there?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. The question is, do you think social media, right? Do you think that social media has a positive or a negative effect on society?
It's okay. In my personal opinion, I think it's depend. It depend what you use the social media. For example, right now I using the social media to improve my English skills, and that is good. But if I only spend time in social media watching videos or playing some games, that is not going to help you. Uh, that is not going to help you because you are losing time, and that time is not going to come back to you. So I know a lot of people that they are very addictive. They pass in their phones every day because we for example in the quarantine, my cousin didn't go outside, and they only pass with their phones watching videos and watching Netflix. Um, that was bad because when I try to give my best, um, doing my assignment for the university, they was making a lot of noise, um, and I hate that reality. So I think it's depend, but the social media, if has the correct use, is good.
I see. All righty. Thank you very much, Isaac, for your answer. Mammon, are you there? We also have OJ28. OJ28, thank you very much for coming in. My pleasure
Yeah,
having you today. Mammon, okay.
yeah. I'm here.
Thank you, OJ28. We're about to finish OJ28. Last Saturday, I think you make it a little bit also late. But anyway, if you would like to participate OJ28, I can give you some time, right? Today's episode we're talking about health, right? Um, and the main question of today's episode is: do you consider yourself a perfectionist? Right, that's the question. So if you would like to participate, you are more than welcome to do so. The only thing that I will ask you to do is to bring your earphones with you or headset, and you give us a call. All right. So Mammon,
Yes.
the question is, do you think that social media has a positive or negative effect on society?
Well, we are passing a very technological life actually, and in my point of view, it has both advantages and disadvantages impact in our daily life. For instance, when I was in standard 8 or probably standard 9, I had total 80 friends in that class. But when I passed my SSC exam, I had only 3 or 4 friends. I had only connection with only 3 or 4 friends. But when it was introduced Facebook in our country, that maybe 2006 or 2007, I easily managed a profile in our in the Facebook, and now I have the connection with all of my friends. I can easily see what they are doing in their daily life. They are uploading their photos and some other curriculum as well. So it actually makes the world so close in our hand, like social media. And there is another thing, like in our country political imbalance is always going on. So if there is any discrimination is occurred in any people, we can easily upload the things in social media and can make it viral, so that everyone can easily know the things and can take precautions on the basis of that viral video. And there are some demerits as well, like I have a adolescent cousin who I see who is always busy with the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well, rather than give concentration on his study, which just affect his study badly. And and I know many other people who are always trying to busy with their own social media rather than gossiping in their real life. So as a consequence, they are becoming antisocial nowadays. So I think it has both a positive and negative impacts in our day-to-day life.
Thank you, Maman. Thank you very much for actually giving an answer to that question. Thank you very much for your participation. Yes, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You know, having the opportunity to have a social account on live help you out to meet new people, help you out to show what you can do to the rest of the world. And there are 1 or 2 or 3 people that are gonna be following you, and then lot of more, right? For example, I've seen people with bigger channels, right? And this is unbelievable how they create different kind of contents, and they have millions, right? Millions of people following them. Now, something else. So, where are you from? Currently, I'm in Nicaragua, Central America, right? OJ28. Where are you from, OJ28? You know, we would love to. We encourage our people, right, to, instead of chatting. I don't have any problem with chatting, but India, all right, sounds great. So we encourage our people to speak, because that's the space. This is a space where you can actually have the opportunity to express yourself, to give your thoughts about one topic. And the idea behind all this is that you can practice your speaking, especially if you're going to be taking the IELTS, or you are going to have an interview, or you are going to have a presentation. The truth is that we can talk about different things. We have a main topic, and through that topic we can develop that, right? So my mic is giving problems. Sorry for that. That's okay. No worries, OJ28. So going back to the question, right? Yes, I think that having a social media or just the internet will help you out to get in contact with people that will love to share something with you, or you will love to share something with them, right? But on the other side, right, of the coin, I would have to admit that we need to be careful of the information that we share on internet. And also we need to be careful with our next generation. Well, I'm talking about our children. because they perhaps think this is something normal, that you're gonna be growing up with this technology. But the truth is that there are outside other things that they can also enjoy, right? Like talking to a human person face to face, that's also rewarding, right? That's also rewarding. Going to a cafe and talk to that person, talk about things you like, things you dislike, talk about the social things, political things, governmental issues that are actually are going on right now. Cambridge Analytical, okay? Cambridge Analytical. Yeah, you're talking about that Cambridge Analytical actually used Facebook to manipulate, right? That's the movie, yes. But actually that movie, OJ28, is based on real facts. Actually, that happened in the United States, because there is a spurious situation where people think, or there are some kind of evidence that Russia controlled people's mind through different kind of this is something I don't remember right now the term in psychology, but they play with your mind and they send you some kind of information, so later on they can't, like a likelihood, they can know what kind of person you are, and they make a stereotype of you, and based on that, if you are in their side, you're good. But if you are not in their side, so they send you some kind of information that is related to the good thing that you're supposed to be doing. And that's a really interesting movie, how social media works. I'm not talking about only Facebook. I'm talking about Google, YouTube. I'm talking also about what's the other one? Twitter, right? So the algorithm works for you, that if you think that something is white, even though that you think it's white, they want you to think that it's black. As simple as that, right? Right now, I don't want to cover, some kind of topics that are very like a feminism, or this kind of topics that are quite not difficult to talk about, but it will be something interesting that perhaps in our next lesson we can discuss about. But that's it, right? The main idea of social media is that you become so addictive to them, like a drug, and you spend most of the time on those platforms, because at the end you are the product, and companies or governments are the ones, right, who buy the product, and the product is basically you. This is what the movie is about, just a little bit. So I just make a spoiler over there. I didn't want to, but it's really interesting how this movie has been played.
But one more thing, if you allow me, I could add something.
Sure, go ahead.
Actually, I said there is a political imbalance going on in our country, and if anyone said or given a comments against the government in the Facebook, the moment I saw many people are being arrested after the following day or the very next day. Yeah, and it's going on.
Yeah, so you need to be careful.
So yeah, and for this case, I never ever share anything. Either it could be going to a positive things for the government or not. I don't care anything. I didn't share any type of content that belongs to politics.
That's the thing. That's the problem. That's why sometimes I don't try to bring that kind of topic. In America, things are a little bit different, because we have this freedom of speech, meaning that you can say whatever you want or whatever you think, and nothing's gonna happen, right? In quotes, I'm mentioning quotes, and nothing's gonna happen against you. But it's not. For example, you're not gonna get arrested. That's something that I need to state, right? But there are countries as you mentioned, I didn't know about that. That actually in Bangladesh that happened. If you say something bad against the government, you next make sure that next day or the following 24 hours they are going to be looking for you, right?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
Nicaragua, the place where I live, it's the same thing, right? If you say something bad about the government, unless you are a public figure, they're gonna be chasing
yeah,
you. That's a fact, right? But if you are
yeah,
just a person that wants to say something against the government doesn't even pay attention. They don't pay um, the attention that you need because you are not a public figure, right? Or someone that actually move mass, right? So that's the thing.
yeah,
But I know that there are people that they just prefer not to talk about that, not because they don't have anything to say. It's because they just want to keep themselves, you know, far away from that situation. For example, me personally, or the people that I know, when they talk badly against the government, I know for a fact that he's gonna face a lot of people then uh, telling these people that what they're doing is wrong, and a lot of grocery things that actually say, right. So this is a sad thing because we don't actually have the freedom of speech, right. Anyway,
yeah.
so where we are about to leave, right? Once again, I just want to say thank you so much, Mammon, for your time today. It has been
Yeah.
amazing to have you in today's episode, as well as Isaac. Thank you guys for being here.
I
Mammon,
have a last question, if
go
you
ahead.
allow me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, it could be an aesthetic pleasure for me if you just give a short review or give a short evaluation in case of my today's speaking. It would be really
I
aesthetic
would have
pleasure for me.
Sure. There are some words that I was writing down over here. Just 1 second because there is some noise. Hold on, wait a
Okay.
moment. All right, so there are some words when it comes to pronunciation. I would appreciate that you can review them. And I will be sending you these words in a private message, right? In order for you
Okay,
to have the
okay,
opportunity to look at them, right? The
okay,
same, the same for you, Isaac. Okay. So I do have some words that I would love to pay attention to them and then try to look for the words in a really good dictionary. Don't Google it, guys. Okay. Don't Google it because Google is not a actually good dictionary. I'm gonna be sending you as well a really good link for a dictionary that you can actually have. You bookmark it and you can use it at your own time, right? So don't worry, Mamun. I cover you, right? I cover you. I already know
okay, okay.
what are
Thanks a
the
lot.
words. Not a
Thank you
problem.
very much.
Not a
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you. Was a pleasure, Nestor.
Was my pleasure. All right, OJ28. Maybe next time you can join us, right? This is the second time, if I'm not mistaken, that you are joining us today in our podcast. Next, let's see. Okay, so Isaac just left. So that will be it, right? So, Mamun, something else you want to add?
Uh, Actually, I was very exciting. Excited. I was really very excited from the evening. I was waiting when the episode was just going to be started, because it gave me a opportunity to speak or and to listen at the same time, such a kind hearted man like you. And it's a really a great opportunity for me to talk with you here. Thank you very much for giving me such opportunity.
Thank you, Mammon. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I also thank you, right? Because of you are giving me something that is called time. And that is something that is very valuable as well. Alrighty, so
Yeah, yeah.
OJ28 asks, what time do you start? I speak. Uh, we do have we run this project every Saturday, right? and most of the time, sometimes I change the time. Sometimes it's at 9 a.m. or at 10 a.m. Sometimes it's at 10:30. But if you follow us, right, you will have the opportunity to know when is going to be our next episode. Definitely is going to be next Saturday, right? But I cannot tell you actually what is going to be the time. Like we can start 9:30 or 10:30, or 10:30 is the latest that we can start. And for the records, I am in Central Standard Time. So this is Canada and the Mountain Standard Time for you to know. Follow where you can follow us on Podbean, right? There is a green button that says follow, and you just follow, and you will see. Yep, that's right. Follow I Speak. Alrighty, so very good, very good. All right, well, remember that this episode was brought to you by I Speak. I Speak is the program where we teach you different kind of strategies for you to expand your answers when it comes to fluency, vocabulary, coherence, and pronunciation, right? The criteria we use in order for you to develop your spoken abilities or your spoken abilities is through the IELTS criteria. So meaning that if you are planning to have your IELTS exam, if you're planning to take your IELTS exam, or if you are just a person that loves to speak English, you are more than welcome to join us and participate. All right, so guys, I just want to say one more time, thank you so much for your time today. It was my pleasure having you all. I have 7 participants, which is great. And I hope to talk to you soon, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye, and see you soon.
Bye bye. Bye bye.